match, I guess.
Perry to break.
Their 7th meeting, 3 wins apiece, and it's Perry who's going to get us underway. I'm Philip Studd, the 1986 world champion. Joe Johnson watching alongside me. Good evening, Joe.
Good evening, Philip. And good evening, everybody. Yep, the head-to-head with these two, as you already know, is 3 each. Played 6 times, but they haven't played for a couple of years. I suppose the big one in all of that was the World Championship, in which Kyren Wilson won 10-9. Final frame decider.
He's really stepped up his game in the last 12 months or so, Kyren Wilson. Very consistent last season, 3 major finals. And of course, a semi-final appearance at the Crucible as well.
What a good shot that was from Kyren Wilson, trying to screw the cue ball back the right side of the blue. He struck it so well. Now, does he have any angle whatsoever on the blue? If not, then it's going to be the brown, screwing around the 3 cushions, trying to finish on that red next to the black. Never easy.
Kyren Wilson, 1.
And he's going to be on the red. Just.
One.
Well, he knew he was making contact with the black, and he may just be able to stun into the reds, but this is a tough pot. Got to put everything into the pot. And, well, can he pot it?
8.
It's a thin cut, that's for sure. I think he can.
No.
Now, it depends what kind of an angle he's got on the green. If he's got a good angle on it, he might stun into the reds. Easy enough to play for that loose red. Yes, he had the angle. And he's on a red. And he's opened up the reds up. It's got 2, 4, 5... 6 reds out in the open.
So
good chance this, although he's underhit that one, but he's far enough the wrong side for it to be fairly good. Could play for the red next to the pink, to the right of the pink. Well, the way he's played it, he's given himself choice of 2. And maybe
18.
the one to the left corner for a right-handed player. Imperative to get off to a good start in this best of 7 matches.
19.
A couple of straightforward wins for Perry. First up, Sean O'Sullivan was whitewashed, then Ollie Lyons taken out 4-1. And then he squeezed by Andrew Higginson, a former Welsh Open runner-up, by the odd frame, to set up this meeting with Wilson.
Yeah, I just thought that at the back end of the season, beginning of this season, he started to show some good form, Joe Perry. Such a good player. Very attacking player when he gets in. Another good shot there, opening the reds up, staying on this red to the left corner.
Yes, of course, he handsomely beat Mark Selby in the first round of the World Championship, 10 frames to 4. And it was only last year that he made the final of the Masters, of course, where he lost out to Ronnie O'Sullivan. He has played some good stuff in the last couple of seasons. Just a question of trying to be a little bit more consistent.
Yeah, well, he got to the last 16 of the first two events, and as you
42.
say, beat Mark Selby, the World Championship.
The early signs are certainly positive here for Perry. He's cueing smoothly.
Yeah, you can always tell that, can't you, Philip? Because he's inch perfect with his position. And that's when you know a person's cueing well, when he's absolutely the right side of the blue, but just
48.
right. You know, 2 inches, 3 inches, the right side of the blue.
49.
You know that your opponent's playing well when he's playing those kind of shots. Now, will he play into those 3 reds by the pink here? And hold for the 2 reds to the right corner. Oh, couldn't have played it any better. And this is what I'm saying about Joe Perry. When he starts to play,
56.
look at this for a shot. Played it with a touch of left-hand side on the cue ball to check it into those reds perfectly. But when he's playing like this, he's as good as anybody. Leaving a nice angle on the black each time. And already the break at 57. But it's important now he finishes it off. He's done the hard work. Again, inch perfect with his position.
64.
And just the black needed, just the red needed. The black to make sure.
65.
And as Philip said, good start this for Joe Perry. Imperative to get off to a good start, especially with somebody as good as Kyren Wilson. Applause for frame ball.
72.
He'd like to start off with a century. Made 23 last season.
73.
But didn't have a particularly good season last season, although it showed signs at the end of getting back to his best.
80.
271 career centuries.
81.
We need to play a cannon here. The red goes to the middle, so no need to.
88. 89. 96. 97.
'Screwed it, but made sure of the century, which pleased the crowd.
103.
And not touching the sides, are they?
105.
Looks like he's been out there for a couple of hours.
108.
I think this is what's known as a statement of intent. He's not put a foot wrong in this break. Position A1 throughout.
112.
Well, his first red, he had to play a very delicate cannon to the black, and he took the opportunity to go into them. Had that red just travelled another inch by the middle pocket, he was on nothing. But he's took him so well.
123.
You can't beat the highest break of the tournament so far. That's owned by Jack Lazowski. A 135, but that's a tremendous start from Joe Perry. A beautiful break. A clearance of 130. Kyren Wilson, if he didn't know already, knows now he's going to have to play well tonight. Perry is in the mood. What a start. Tremendous stuff from the former Masters runner-up. His 7th century of the season, he leads 1-0.
Racing has taken me all over the world, but when I put on the helmet, I am still in India. India, where I found yoga.
Slow down, breathe.
I have breathed in India's magic. I have felt its warmth. Yoga has taught me the truth about life and motorcycles. That the more still you are, the further you can go.
Incredible India.
Hey, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Anyway, I can't believe what she said.
I'm chasing shadows in the gallows, collecting what was stolen from me.
What a start to the evening session. Joe Perry stroking in a quite brilliant break of 130. And he is in the mood to do some damage. Kyren Wilson, who of course suffered a nosebleed during his victory last evening against Alan Taylor. That caused quite a lengthy delay. Over on table 2, Liang Wenbo and Tian Pengfei continuing to battle it out in frame 1 on the player.
Well, it was Joe Perry who had the first chance in the last frame, missed the brown, if you remember. Into the green pocket, coming round the 3 cushions for the red. It was a costly miss. If the black had have been available, it may have taken this long red onto the right corner. Lots of left-hand side on the cue ball to avoid the reds. And has he covered the red over the left corner? Oh, Philip's nodding, so he has. Just. So not straightforward this. Does he play back down the table? Because he'd almost certainly leave that red on. Maybe just leave the cue ball on the black cushion. Didn't want the double kiss. Well, he could play off the pack of reds here, just slide past the yellow, and he'd cover that red over the left corner. Good pace on the cue ball. In danger here. If it comes off the left side cushion, lands into the pack, he leaves the red by the middle pocket. It's just whether he can see enough of that red above the pink. So allowing the referee,
Kevin Dabrowski,
to have a good look to see what he can hit on that red. Well, there was at least one person that liked the safety. There's a referee. Table looks to be running superbly.
This is where it all started, really, for Joe Perry. Turned pro back in 1992, and he made the final of the European Open that year, losing to Stephen Hendry. So happy memories of this tournament.
This looks good. Well, he can play safe off the red over the right side of the table. Just needs to play with a touch of left-hand side to avoid the reds. Well, full ball kiss on the green. But I don't think he's left anything easy.
Yes, it was actually 2001 that Perry made the final here. He turned professional in 92. I guess he's not as revered, is he, as the fabled holy trinity of O'Sullivan, Williams and Higgins, who turned pro that year. But for my money, he's playing as well as he's ever done. Okay, he hasn't been quite as consistent in the last 12 months, but the kind of snooker he produced to make the Masters final when he was into his 40s, and the break he made at the start of this match shows that he's still a force.
Make no mistake. And got plenty upstairs as well. Nothing he doesn't know about the game. Good safety player, as that last shot proved. And that's a little slow. He's left a red to the left centre. He wanted that cue ball on the cushion. So he's a long way out there, Kyren Wilson.
Quite intimidating when your opponent, with his first scoring visit, clears the table with 130. That immediately puts you under pressure, not just because you've lost the opening frame in a short match, a race to 4, but because you're acutely aware that your opponent is cueing very well and feeling confident.
One.
Well, good pot, but the kiss could have been kinder. He may be able to pot the brown to the middle. Depends what kind of an angle he's got on the brown. He can get back to the reds. Well, not good.
Joe Perry, one.
So just playing the snooker. It's a good snooker because the reds are nicely split. Could have done with being just a little tighter to the yellow, and then he wouldn't have been able to play the 2 cushion escape. Well, he may not play that anyway, but it wouldn't have given him the chance to play it.
Well, he may not have a nosebleed this evening, but he might have a headache fairly shortly if Kyren Wilson sees Joe Perry continuing to play as he started this match.
Well worked out.
It's touching ball.
And that's very, very unfortunate to have left a touching ball. He can now play back down the table into a spot where he deems it very difficult for Kyren Wilson.
Yep.
First blood to Liang Wenbo on the other table against the man who knocked out Judd Trump last evening, Tian Pengfei. The winner of that plays the winner of this match in the quarterfinals tomorrow. Still best of 7, the quarterfinals, by the way. Then we go up to the best of 11 for the semis. The final will be the first to 9 on Sunday.
So they're used to each other's game, these two. As I said, played each other 6 times. Into heads 3 each. It was a terrific match that Kyren Wilson won in the World Championship when he beat Joe 10-9.
It's a venue that he's always warmed to. Of course, he made the semi-finals back in the spring. Got his first taste of the one table set up at the Crucible, and I asked him about that, and he said he couldn't believe how different it was to playing with the curtain, like a completely different venue altogether.
Yeah, I've always said that. It's like a different venue. It feels like a different venue. And the distance from the seat to the table, from the previous rounds, you're right on top of the table. One step and you're there. And then when it goes down to one table, it's like you need to catch a bus. Very intimidating venue.
Yeah, and he said that it took him, with that in mind, a while to get used to things, and he did start his semi-final with Higgins slowly, eventually holding him to 17-13. But he loved every minute of it.
And the good thing is that he's going to be there again this year because he's firmly established in the top 16. And he's going to be a handful for anybody.
Yes, he made over £400,000 on the table last season. Terrific safety. And the merest hint of a rueful smile from Joe Perry.
Well, he may have to take this long red on, this long straight red. Just leave the cue ball in the jaws of the pocket. If it goes in, great. If it doesn't, it should be safe. Well, that's a little tentative, that, from Kyren. The cue ball not reaching the balk line, never mind a balk cushion. I think, fortunately, had it travelled a little further, it may have left the red onto the left corner. This is a big shot. Oof, it was was nearer the ball corner. Well, he's left a red to the left corner, but getting to a colour is going to be difficult. Well, he had no idea what was happening to the cue ball there. I'm surprised he took that on because he could have played the safety. But probably had enough of the safety play. Wasn't really near the pot. But where was the cue ball going? So, chance. Joe Perry.
One.
And he'd like the pink to go onto the black spot. And it does.
7.
Pink will go to both pockets, so he could be in business here.
Eight.
Well, we know he's cueing well. Quite
14.
brilliant century clearance in the opening frame. This is a pretty decent chance. Yes, the black's out of commission, but
15.
the pink on the black spot. Quite a few reds out in the open. Finally nailed that elusive first major
21.
ranking title at the Players' Championship. That was back in 2015. He'd had some near misses prior to that. Most notably, of course,
22.
against his very good friend and practice partner Neil Robertson out in Wuxi when he lost by the odd frame. And I think Neil Robertson felt as badly as Joe Perry did about that loss for Joe. Oh dear, that's a bad one.
Joe
Yeah,
Perry,
and I think the
22.
reason why he missed it is he was trying to avoid the red on the right side cushion. Missed it thick, so now a chance. Look at this again, he hit the far angle. And I think he was just trying to avoid the red, but he could have stunned up for those two reds. Didn't need to bounce off the cushion.
1.
So not an easy table to win the frame from, but you never know.
And delighted to be back at the table so soon.
Seven. Eight. 14.
Oh, he's played that one a little bit hard. I'm sure he's playing for the pink there. He could take the blue. He can't work out how he's missed the pink. Or if he's going to get another shot in this frame. No, his intention was to try and bring that red off the right side cushion. That's what he looked at
21.
a couple of shots ago. But it depends how he catches the red, whether he's on a colour or not. And that's okay, settle for that. Now, if he was ultra aggressive, he could try and bring that red off the left side cushion. He'd be on the red over the right middle if you made any kind of contact with it, thick contact. Will he play it? He has, and that's brought another red into play. So all of a sudden, it's looking a little rosier. Still got those 3 reds by the black to contend with.
$29.
Could have done with just coming back a little bit further. Now he needs the rest.
34.
3 or 4 inches more pace in the screw back. Wouldn't have needed the rest, but he's a very good rest player. But even so, they're still difficult shots. And what a difference it makes that he didn't bring the cue ball back under the 3 or 4 inches.
And that's a couple he's missed with the rest now. Little shake of the head from Kyren. And a good opening rev from Perry.
Yeah, very much so. This is the rest shot from Kyren. Well, attempted to open the reds up, and just a safety.
7.
And a big target, brown and yellow. Oh, didn't get enough side in the cue ball.
Joe Perry, 7.
Didn't want to hit it much thicker than that because he would have brought the red into play. How good is that? Excellent safety. Now, if he hits this thick, the red hits the black, which hits the other red, and sends it over the pocket, so he's got to be careful. I think that was the favourite shot to play. Well, that's a complete mishit from Kyren Wilson. And a gift of the first red, Joe Perry. I'm not sure even he knows what he played there.
1.
And this is a big frame now. At the moment it's evenly balanced, but Perry back in, and when the target is 4 frames, 2-0 lead is very handy.
Yeah, what's he played here? Because I may have miscued.
Yeah, certainly looked that way on the replay.
8.
And the red just above the black. I think it will go into that left corner. And I tell you, if he could finish fairly straight on that red, he'd be able to play a really good snooker in behind the black. That's if the red goes. Now, I just wonder if he's thought of that shot. Just drop it in,
14.
play a tight snooker in behind the black. It would be nearly impossible to get out of. Of course, that's a better shot if you can
15.
win the frame from that visit. And he's 11 points to the good. Still hasn't released that red though behind the black spot. And it's going to come down to that red. Everything's available, so this is a big shot for Joe Perry. These pockets are not playing big by any means.
22.
It's one of those that could win or lose in the frame, this one shot.
Oh, what a
22.
good shot that was. What a good shot. He needs the yellow, though.
It's a sign of the confidence he's feeling. He didn't take a backward step there.
Doesn't want to kiss the blue. Well, that's unfortunate. If he
30.
missed the blue, it would have been guaranteed the yellow, as it is. It's the rest shot. Wilson can win by 1. And wouldn't you believe it?
Joe Perry, 30.
Well, it was frame ball, and this time Joe Perry misses with the rest. Will that cost him the frame?
Yeah, I think I would have played it a little bit harder. Get the cue ball down the table on the black cushion, just in case. One good shot here. And it could be 1 each.
2.
And should be 1 each.
Could be an early turning point. Joe Perry has looked the more settled so far. Was looking good for 2-0 there. But if Kyren Wilson
5.
can mop up these colours, it'll be 1 each instead, and he'll feel part of the match.
Nine.
He's a little heavy. He's going to need the rest again. And this isn't easy. Now, does he drop it in dead weight? Just bounce off the cushion for the black. Chance of the snooker if he misses. Or does he stun round the 2 cushions? Or screw directly to the side cushion? So many different ways to play it. Played it dead weight, and it's going to finish on the lip. Oh, has he got the snooker?
Well, that's the 3rd shot with the rest that he's missed this evening. All of them in this frame.
Yes, he can just play a little swerve, and any contact with it really should go in.
6 in the frame.
A dramatic second frame then, which could have gone either way, but it's gone the way of Joe Perry, who made 130 in the first frame. Kyren Wilson had the chance to clear, couldn't take it, missed with the rest again, and Perry has doubled his lead. He's halfway to a place in the next round. And Kyren Wilson, the world number 9, has work to do. He trails 2-0.
Mayday. Mayday. This is Eagle One. We have a problem.
Don't panic. Oh, have a look at that. Get a free £10 bet when you bet £5 on any Bet Your Way market on the Liverpool-Man City game. Yes, let's have a piece of the action.
We're breaking up!
I tell you what, I rate our chances. We can get a £10 free bet.
Oh,
For the love of the game. Betway.
Yes, she thought, laying down her brush in extreme fatigue. I have had my vision.
Welcome back to Lommel, the fourth evening of the European Masters. We've already seen the demise, I should say, today of the world number one, Mark Selby, beaten by Ryan Day. Jimmy Robertson coming from 3-0 behind to win 4-3 on the last black for the third match in a row. And Joe Perry has just taken a tight second frame after a break of 130 in the first against Kyren Wilson to lead 2-0. So the Warrior, as he's known, has work to do here. First to four to go through. And he'll be frustrated that he couldn't clear the colours. It was the poor positional shot, really, from blue to pink, which left him with a much tougher pink than he would have liked. And as Joe mentioned, these top pockets are on the tight side. And it stayed on the lip. Joe Perry only needed the pink. So he'll be feeling great at 2-0 up when it looked as though it was going to be 1-1 after he'd missed the yellow with the rest. One of Kyren Wilson's attributes is his competitive spirit and his temperament. So I don't think he'll be easily fazed by the manner in which he lost that last frame in the way that some players might be. But this is a big frame for him now. 3 down in a race to 4 against an informed Joe Perry would be a very big ask. Over on table 2, Liang Wenbo and Tian Pengfei are now level at 1 each. Winner of that, of course, plays the winner of this match later on. It'll be Anthony Hamilton against Luca Brissell on this table. We'll bring you that match in full. And on table 2 and on the player, it'll be Jack Lazowski and Zhang Anda. A mistake, but it doesn't look like being too expensive.
That's a little different. No way down the left side this time. The pink hiding the reds. So a little more difficult coming down the right side. Managed to find the gap. Now, has he covered the red? Has he covered the red? It's close. And the answer's no. You can see enough of it to pot it. Pot it he does.
One.
Kiss could have been kinder.
Not touching the pink, so Perry obviously had to hit it. Done a pretty good job.
Perry 1.
Although his form has been, on the whole, indifferent over the past 12 months or so, Perry is still only 9 spots outside the top 16 at 25. And as we know, with the big paychecks around these days, one big tournament and you can rocket up those rankings. So it's by no means out of the question that he could regain his top 16 place. 75,000 ranking points for the winner of this tournament this weekend. Just short of pace there. If he can win this evening, he'll fancy his chances. Quite a few of the big names have gone.
Yeah, and it'd be a good chance to get right back up the rankings, wouldn't it? Back into the top 16. 75,000 for the winner. And there's only 60,000 between him and the 16th place.
Kyren.
In fact, less than that. Well, a chance here of getting in behind the yellow. It's not bad. Good pace on the cue ball. Well, he could play the same shot as he did before, just come off the cushion, land up into the reds. It's a big target. You'd expect him to be able to land up into them. Good shot. And by the same token, Wilson should be able to land that cue ball in behind the yellow again. Yeah, good shot.
Just 2 tables in action this evening, of course, with 2 more matches to follow these two. To complete the quarter-final lineup, we already know that Ryan Day will play Mark King and Mark Allen will play Jimmy Robertson.
Well, this isn't quite so easy. If he plays the red nearest the left side cushion, there's a danger of the double kiss. And he may have left the red to the left middle. Well, that could have been a lot worse. Double kiss was always on. But not left anything easy. There's a red that will go to the left corner, the one by the pink, but difficult to hold for the pink. Looking at the possibility of a 3-ball plant there, that red onto the other 2. And if it's touching, then he'd need to hit the right-hand side of it as we're looking at it. Just caught the red. Now, can Perry pot this red to the right corner and get onto the black? Well, he was playing back down for the pink or blue. It was just off straight. Difficult shot. Cue ball was going in the pocket and he'd been delighted to have seen it going.
Well, this is a really important visit now for Kyren Wilson. He had a great chance to pinch the previous frame on the colours, played a poor positional shot and paid the price in missing the pink. He can't really afford to lose this frame. And he's been given an early chance to make a sizable break.
Swan. Yep.
Spider's no good, so out comes the swan instead, which doesn't get a lot of use.
Eight. Nine.
Kyren Wilson's weight of scoring was one of the features of his season last time out. He made 50 centuries during the last campaign, a big improvement on the season before. It was something he targeted as an area of his game he needed to improve
15.
to make the big breaks. He's already made 8 this season.
16.
And for any century he makes this month, he's going to be donating £100 to the Stand Up to Cancer charity.
Well, he's got a good chance here. The black will go into the right corner.
22.
I'd like to get onto that red nearest the black cushion, just behind the black. You could
23.
get onto that red. The black would then be free to both corners. Well, could have played for it that time round.
Thirty. $31.
Yeah, it looked tight, didn't it, after he played the plant?
Yeah, it is tight, but I think it will just go. And now he's on this red that I spoke about. And doesn't really need to play for the black, because it's so tight, this. Why play for the black
38.
next shot when you can be on the pink and then come back down for the red next to the black? If it's so tight, no need to play for it.
39.
Could have been straighter on the pink.
$45. $46.
Well, that just wriggled in, and this isn't easy, this black. To get the cue ball out for a red here is going to be very difficult. It's got good cue power. Didn't have any side on the cue ball. Thought he would have had a little bit of left-hand side.
53.
Good screw, but no side look. Nothing on it. So this red is cuttable to the right corner, but again, he won't know what's going to happen to the cue ball. He's 56 points in front. He could push a red to the cushion and play the safety. But with that red safe on the right side cushion, I don't know, it's maybe worthwhile playing the red. But that's just as
Kyren
good.
Wilson,
Pushing
53.
a red safe.
So Kyren Wilson's first half-century of the match. But still plenty there for Joe Perry if he can get in. A couple of awkward reds to negotiate now.
Well, can you get the easy red to the middle? Full marks for taking that red on. Well, I can't get to the easy red, and this is much more difficult. Yeah, that wasn't easy. And could be a frame loser. Lost the cue ball. I'm pretty sure he wanted that cue ball to be low on the black. But he knew as soon as he'd hit it, he'd left the red on.
Well, that wasn't clean, but it dropped. And a chance now for Kyren Wilson to field part of this match. Probably should have won the previous frame. But if he can win this one, then he's right back in the picture again.
7.
Red in the high value colour will be enough to leave Perry needing a snooker.
Eight.
To lead by 68 with 67 left, so another red.
12.
And this frame should be over. Well, it was a must-win
13.
frame, really, for Kyren Wilson, particularly given how he lost the previous one. 3 down with 4 to play against anyone is a tough ask. Against Joe Perry, who's been queuing well, even more so, but he's just 1 behind now. And he'll feel better for that half-century break, 53.
19.
After Perry had gone for a long red, a tough one, and left him in.
Yeah, he could have been so different, though, when he missed that
20.
red at last visit to the table. Scattered into the reds and left Perry a half chance. If it had been able to see the easy red into the middle, it could have been a different story completely. And it was a
25.
tough red that he took on. And it's cost him.
25 and a frame.
So Kyren Wilson back in the match. Joe Perry with a great start. He looks a little frustrated, though, that he's not 3-0 up. He'll have to settle for 2-1. So Perry needs 2. Kyren Wilson needs 3 here in Lommel on last 16 day at the European Masters. Quarter-final places up for grabs. We'll be back after this short break.
Ladbrokes, proud sponsors of snooker on Eurosport.
Right, said Fred. We want to help the family. Let's chat about releasing equity.
So Jim came to our place,
explained it all at our pace, and we were getting somewhere. And so we had a cup of tea. Then the family had a think, and they thought they ought to choose the plan Key recommended. And all our doubts were ended, and we all agreed that good advice is key. So if you're thinking of releasing equity, then good advice is key.
In Compton, you join a gang, or you find another way to survive. My horse was headed to the slaughterhouse when I got her. I think maybe, did I save the horse, or did the horse save me?
Guinness. Some are made of more.
Welcome back. The fourth evening here at the European Masters well underway. Kyren Wilson 1, Joe Perry 2. Wilson halving the deficit over on the player. Liang Wenbo doing battle with a man who shocked Judd Trump last evening, Tian Pengfei, who beat the defending champion by 4 frames to 2. 1 apiece there, and still some way to travel in the third, with reds awkwardly positioned near cushions. So that one's got quite a way to go. Liang Wenbo has not been in any sort of form really in recent times. Of course, he won the inaugural English Open, the first leg of the Home Nations here on Eurosport, which starts a week on Monday. And Ronnie O'Sullivan has confirmed that he will be defending his title. That'll be his first ranking event appearance of the season. Coverage continues on the Eurosport player of that one. Here on table 1, battle is joined. Kyren Wilson crucially winning the third frame, having lost the first 2. Healthy crowd in this evening, enjoying the snooker. We're at the midway point, I guess, really. 3 more days to come after this one. Things beginning to get serious now. Quarterfinals tomorrow. Semis on Saturday. And that £75,000 cheque awaiting the champion on Sunday evening, along with the points to go with it. And the small matter for Joe Perry of the prospect of a place in the Champion of Champions, the lucrative invitational event for the winners of the major events over the past 12 months. Perry could book his place in that tournament. Of course, Kyren Wilson's already there, courtesy of his triumph in the Paul Hunter Classic this season. Perry having nipped out for a bathroom break. He looked a bit cross, actually, not to have taken the chance he had in the third frame. So frame 4 of a possible 7.
Well, that's freed the black, and look where the cue ball's finished. Now, he didn't play it there. He'd be the first to admit that you don't play the cue ball in behind the yellow. Would have left a red on had you not got the snooker. Players always play the cue ball to the cushion. players, very good safety players. But a chance here to get that cue ball in behind the green and brown. Oh. Don't forget to hit the red.
Oh, the miss. Kyren Wilson, 4.
Well, he could be tempted with this red over the left side of the table. Screw down the table for one of the ball colours.
One.
Well, that's a good pot, and it had to go in the way he played it. I thought he would have played down for one of the ball colours, but went full-blooded at the red. Good shot.
Eight. Nine.
Well, that little kiss has saved him. And it just
15.
gone past it. It was out of position. Oh. Well, surprising.
Kyren Wilson,
Missing an easy
15.
one like that. Normally very consistent on easy shots. Just a miss.
Well, I was just wondering whether he got a heavy contact. He did hit it thick, but maybe it was just a lapse of concentration.
Yeah, I didn't detect a kick. I thought so myself at first, but when they played it back, it didn't seem to straighten up, did it, the red? But what a great chance for Joe Perry to take a 3-1 lead. The red's nicely spread. Play down for this red closest to the right corner. Oh, the other one that gets him to the black. And those two reds to the left of the black, if he could develop those two, that would certainly help his cause.
7.
And 3 in the black into both pockets.
Made a superb opening salvo, 130 clearance in frame 1.
Oh, he's a little too hard, and that's a careless positional shot. Now he can't hold for the black. And all of a sudden, he wonders why he hit it so hard. So down for the blue.
15.
Now, does anything go into that right corner? At first glance, it doesn't look as though there's anything easy. So may have to play into the reds here off 2 cushions. And he's on one to the middle.
20. 21.
Now he could play a cannon, gentle cannon, to the red just below the pink spot. He's missed it. Didn't catch it full enough. That's not like Joe.
26.
So, wasn't costly. Kyren Wilson, that easy red that he missed. Wanted to hit that red full in the face, and that would have left him on reds to both corners.
Joe Perry, 26.
Very frustrated that he couldn't make more of that opportunity. Just 26 to put him 7 in front.
Good safety. What a pot. What a pot.
1.
And nicely on the blue. Now, he may be able to come down between the brown and yellow, but look at that for a pot. Yeah, played it well.
6.
91 is good. 84 is below par for Kyren Wilson.
7.
Well, another chance, and this is a great chance. The red's queuing up to be potted now into that left corner. All of a sudden, a spring in his
14.
step. He's playing a little quicker. Can sense winning this frame.
15.
Would have liked to have been low on the black, just to play a little stun shot for the red. And that's okay. And again, would have liked to have been low on this red, just to give
22.
those two reds a little nudge.
23.
Again, thought he could have played the cannon to the red. And had he caught it, he'd have still been
30.
on the red to the middle.
$31.
38 the lead, 43 with the blue, 59 left.
Doesn't want to be straight on this red.
36.
Not happy with that shot.
Needs a couple more reds.
Well, if he could pot a red and a black, Kyren Wilson could only tie.
37.
And he's got the angle to play the cannon to those two reds. Could have been better. This isn't easy.
44.
51 ahead, 51 left. Oh,
45.
Just dropped in, but that sees him safe.
Yeah, 2 snookers to tie now for Kyren Wilson, with the relatively easy blue to come. And it was the brilliant long red that launched this frame-winning contribution from Perry.
50.
He's definitely the stronger of the two so far this evening. Looks a bit more
51.
confident in amongst the balls.
Well, as you say, what a terrific red he got in with. That wasn't easy by any means. He got a good angle, to be fair. That left him on the blue. But everything since then has been brilliant. Look at this red again. What a shot that was.
Right in the heart of the pocket, wasn't it? A resounding thwack on the leather.
Perry, 58. Under frame.
Well, he looks to the heavens, Joe Perry, but surely he's done enough with that break of 58 to put himself within a single frame of victory, 2 up with 3 to play. He certainly has. Kyren Wilson with it all to do now then. He's being outplayed at the moment by Joe Perry. He started with that brilliant century clearance, and that half century has put him within a frame of victory here. We'll have frame 5, the other side of the break.
Edge of your seat entertainment. Virgin TV sponsors Eurosport.
The Casper mattress, delivered in a box. Developed by a dedicated engineering team, dreamt on by you. Try it for 100 nights, risk-free, at casper.com.
For the adventurist, for the urbanist, for the mountainist. And with an extra £750 off on top of all our other offers this month, it's also for the economist. There's more to explore at the Renault SUV event. Get £750 off for Renault Koleos, Kadjar or Capture this October. Search Renault SUV today.
What a trade price that is! Really looks to business. What a van, what a van, what a van. Lisa Van and Rama Van.
Break of 58 from Joe Perry has put him on the cusp of victory. He's 3-1 up against the world number 9 Kyren Wilson, the reigning Paul Hunter Classic and 6 Reds world champion. Let's just have a look at this shot from Joe Perry, which ended the break. And I mentioned that he looked to the heavens, and I don't think it was because he missed, because that missed pot was academic. He'd won the frame, but maybe some pain in his lower back there, which will be a cause for concern. So 3-1 up, but perhaps suffering some sort of ailment. For Kyren Wilson, who's popped out of the arena, he's got it all to do now. He's got to win 3 on the bounce. By no means impossible. Earlier on today, Jimmy Robertson won 4 on the bounce from 3-0 behind to Anthony McGill. And he won that 7th and decisive frame on the black, the 3rd match in a row that Jimmy Robertson has won on the final black here. Extraordinary, really. Joe Perry will be happy enough with the scoreline, perhaps not happy with the state of his back. So while we wait for Kyren Wilson to come back, let's just check in on table 2. Of course, this continues on the player. The 3rd frame has been a real epic battle. I mentioned earlier the Reds in awkward positions, and sure enough, it's been a long one. Looks as though we've had a foul, and the ball's been replaced here by Olivia Martial, our referee on table 2. 15 points between them. Liang in front. Tian Pengfei, of course, having knocked out Judd Trump yesterday. But still some way to go in that frame and in the match.
Okay, Rainbow.
Did you ever have any physical ailments, Joe, when you were playing?
Frame number 5.
Apart from not being able to see.
Joe Perry to break.
No, I was very fortunate.
Thank you.
It is a bit of a encumberment, isn't it? The inability to see the balls.
It's even worse if you can't bend down, take a shot. So I hope Joe Perry's okay there. Nothing wrong with the break-off. Point of no return for Kyren Wilson. Anything he takes on now and he misses, it could be end of frame of match.
He's not done a huge amount wrong, has he, Wilson, this evening? But in these shorter matches, you don't have much room to manoeuvre. Just a couple of loose shots and you can be in trouble.
Well, he missed that easy one, didn't he? Into the right corner, which allowed Perry in with his first little break. He's underhit that one, though, by a distance. He wanted to leave the cue ball close to the cushion. He's left this red on. That was a very nervous shot that he played there. Very unlike Joe Perry. Chance then.
Yeah, they've got to start going in. If he's to get back into this.
Well, it looked high, that, but it dropped in. That was very, very close to missing.
8. Nine.
Into the reds, but he hasn't been fortunate. He didn't hold back either. He went into them with pace, but they just didn't split. Look at this again. They all stuck together. And that
Kyren
was
Wilson,
a
16.
little tentative as well. He wants to take this red on to the right of the pink into the green pocket, but it's very risky to play it. That's another wonderful shot. Could only leave the red he was playing on. What a good shot that was. Wasn't sure it was going to drop. Another good chance this for Kyren Wilson.
Six. 7.
Well, left himself an angle on the yellow to go into the reds off the side cushion if he wants to. If he caught the reds fairly full, he'd be on reds to that right middle pocket. No, that's not a good positional shot. He's on the red, and he'd be on the brown if it goes in, but he wants it to be straight behind this red. That was well and truly missable.
Kyren Wilson.
He's cross.
No.
Well, he's also fortunate because this red could have been easier to the left middle.
Yeah, tricky enough to miss. Pushed it to the far jaw.
Well, he might be able to send both reds down the table, screw back in behind the yellow. Something like that.
Full-blooded for the pot, and had it gone in, he'd have been in a good position.
Yeah, but if you've seen where the red landed, it's blocked the pocket. It was on the red to the right middle. And then that red he just missed came and blocked the pocket. Possible plant there. Very risky to play it. Yeah, he left the red onto the right middle. Well, he played the plant, but he also played the safety. And he's got a good safety. Coming off the two cushions, just landing up into the reds. Might just be able to take this red on to the right corner. Get the cue ball. No, he's not interested. Playing the safety of the red. Nothing wrong with that. And that's another very good safety. The path back to baulk is fraught with danger with those reds over the right side of the table. Go down the left side. Doesn't want the full ball kiss. And this is a chance for Joe Perry. What can he do?
1.
Aggressive attacking shot, knowing he was going to be on this red to the right corner.
8.
And to be fair, they could have split better. Those 4 reds still unavailable, but he's developed 2.
9. $16. 17. 23. 24.
'Well, he's undoubtedly been the stronger player this evening. It's just a question of finishing the job now for Joe Perry. He looks a little pained
30.
by that shot. Perhaps that wasn't his back. It's more a positional issue this time. Is it end of break?
Well, I think it is. He's looking at the safety. Coming round the 2 cushions for that last loose red. And to say, just a safety. And he's pushed a red right over the corner. Is he going to get lucky?
Joe Perry, 30.
Is those 2 reds a plant to the red over the pocket? Well, the swerve is easy enough, but there's a danger of following the red in if he plays the swerve.
Doesn't look as though that red needs more than a touch to drop. Very close to the lip of the pocket. And he's got to get this right, Kyren Wilson, otherwise it could be game over.
Doesn't want to follow it in, and that's exactly what he's done.
Joe Perry, 4.
Swerved it too much. And that's a real let-off for Joe Perry. And that's a very good pot for Joe Perry. So he's in again.
1.
Nice angle on the yellow, if it's not ideal on the brown. Also got a good angle on the green. The 2 reds behind the pink, not sure if they go or not. But these 2 reds closest together near the right side cushion will go to the left corner. He's overstunned it though. He'll be disappointed with that.
5.
That's a good recovery.
6.
That could have gone wrong. What a chance now. 15 the lead. Hasn't been in a quarter-final this year. Played it with a lot of left-hand side on the cue ball. The red to the middle.
$13.
22 points lead. Needs one of those two reds closest together. Well, I thought he would have bounced off the cushion and tried to get closer to this red.
20.
This is difficult and needs an angle on the black.
21.
And maybe he's just about got it. If he could catch the red half ball, it'd almost certainly be on the red.
Needs to take care of the pot as well. Sometimes you see these missed with position the priority.
Now, does the red go? If it does, he's won.
Well, the body language isn't overly positive. Is it tight? Oh.
Well, I wouldn't like to say. It may go in off that right-hand angle, but everything's there for the taking, isn't it?
Well, it's frame ball. It's match ball.
He took it off the angle, and my word, what a brave shot to take. Look at this.
At that pace as well. Those top pockets have been playing on the tight side this week, but that flew in. And it puts him 38 in front with just 35 left. Like another colour, though.
Yep, 2 snookers. Sounds a lot better than just one. And that should make sure.
Well, it's been a really good performance from Joe Perry. He started very impressively with that superb break of 130, clearing the table, a real statement of intent. Kyren Wilson has made 1 or 2 errors he wouldn't normally.
36.
Most notably in the second frame when he had a chance to level at 1-all, played a poor positional shot from blue to pink that allowed Perry a 2-0 cushion. And although Wilson was able to win the third, Perry has undoubtedly been the stronger player.
36 frames.
And there's the handshake. Well, that's a terrific win by the veteran now in his 45th year, Joe Perry. Looking to get back amongst the elite top 16, and he's certainly got an opportunity to do that. He will fancy himself now, having made the quarterfinals, to potentially go all the way. He has beaten Kyren Wilson by 4 frames to 1. So a pretty emphatic win in the end for Joe Perry, and another upset of sorts this week. We've had plenty already with the world #1 Selby and the defending champion Judd Trump among the big names bowing out early. And in 15 minutes time we have our final match on table 1 this evening as we look to complete the draw for the quarterfinals. Anthony Hamilton, the former German Masters champion, against last season's China Championship winner and the home favourite, the poster boy for this tournament in Lommel, Belgium, Luca Brissell. That's coming up in around about 15 minutes time. We'll be back very shortly.
Edge of your seat entertainment.